What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Andrew Jewett. It is so cool to see Andrew giving a shout out to Samson Dauda on winning France Pro. And who knows, these two guys might be fighting for the Olympia title even this year. And they will for surely be battling it out for the Olympia title for years to come.
Big shout out and congrats to Samson who won the Tsunami Pro. I think when he announced himself competing, he broke so many hearts. So blessings to those people. But yeah.
So this training update from Andrew Jewett that was taken less than 2 weeks out of this year's Miss Olympia, which is happening in October this year. And we are now less than 9 days out of this year's Men's Open Bodybuilding prejudging. So just because this is an arms workout, there are gonna be some comments regarding oil or synthol, which I have to say doesn't really make any sense. Because Andrew really has brought up his arms, especially this year. Looking back at his back double biceps from last year's Texas Pro versus this year, it's not only the thickness, especially in the back, that has improved. His bicep peaks also looked a lot better. And all he needs to do at this point is to get drier, especially in that hamstrings and the glutes area. And then it is gonna be game on. Now, I'm sure some of you guys have already watched this video. Andrew speaking slowly, which is an indication that Chris Aceto has him on really low carbs, and that too for weeks on end now, because that is gonna be the last push, as we have less than 5 days now before these guys enter that peak week. So how important is the back when it comes to Olympia judging? If Derek gets beaten by Andrew Jack in the front relaxed, the front double biceps, the front lat spread, and abs and thigh, and possibly most muscular as well, but he loses both the back shorts, and that too by quite some margin, will they consider giving Andrew Jewett or even Samson Dauda the Olympia title? Or the back shorts just weigh a little too much? Well, apparently they do. And the thing is, it has always been this way. Because we have heard that quote over and over again, that the Olympias are usually won from the back. But the question right now is that, can these guys beat Hadi Choopan in the front shorts? Now that is gonna be really interesting. Rubiel Mosquera aka Naxila was spotted training back with his current coach Francisco Aspen. Now I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. As per the majority of the fans, Rubiel has been a massive disappointment throughout this year, dropping out of so many shows one after another, and then not showing up at his personal best at this year's Dubai Pro. Now it would have been a lot better if they just did not announce it in the first place. Can you imagine how many times it was rumored by people around him that Rubiel is gonna enter a certain show? So this trend started from this year's Arnold. First the Arnold Ohio, then the Arnold UK, then the New York Pro. Then he did do one show, Dubai Pro, and then there was Italy, and finally UK Pro. Now we get it. None of these announcements were made by Rubiel himself. But the thing is, he could have clarified those rumors by simply addressing them. And especially the last couple of shows, Italy and UK Pro, they were announced by directly his sponsors. Now this next show, as per his sponsor's announcement, that is gonna be Prague, which is happening mid-November. So hopefully he shows up for that. And also maybe win his first ever pro show. And also get that Olympia qualification for 2025. So Rubiel is a very young guy, only 28 years old. And the time is definitely on his side. The man is a freak of freaks. So he has got to take full advantage of the immense popularity that he has gotten. And that happened right after he won his pro card. And he competed at Prague in 2023. So he has done only 2 pro shows so far. He was 3rd at his pro debut in Prague, and 4th in Dubai Pro this year. So what are Rubiel's chances in Prague, that is scheduled in about 6 weeks time from now? Do let me know what you guys think. So a lot of bodybuilding outlets, they're mentioning this news, that Chris Bumstead still has 5 pounds to lose in the next 10 days to make that classic physique weight cutoff. Now, I'm gonna say this is literally a piece of cake for him. Now, any one of you guys who have competed in the past, you guys must know that these guys lose 5 pounds in just one night. And that's pretty common, especially when the diuretics come into play. So once again, this will be another year when CBum will make weight cutoff with absolutely zero problems whatsoever. Because this has always been the case. So CBum is the biggest bodybuilding personality of this era. And nobody comes even close to him in terms of that sheer popularity. So CBum is one of those athletes who sells tickets. So the IFBB, they would want him to compete for as long as he can. So what do you guys think? Would classic physique be the same when Chris Bumstead retires? Well, for that we're gonna have to wait and see. So speaking about making that weight cutoff, it seems like Urs will have to get a haircut because it seems like he has been growing long hair for quite some time now. And this guy has always had a very hard time making the weight cut off. And that hair might be a problem for him. So Urs Brandon is also one of those guys who has got a lot to prove this year in 9 days time. So we are gonna have to wait another 9 days to see this new version of him. Because we haven't seen a single physique update from Urs throughout this year's Olympia prep. Next up, we have a 9 days out physique update from John Jewett, the man who is a master of peaking for any bodybuilding show that he enters. And it seems like that is gonna be the case for this year's Olympia as well. Because John was ready so far ahead of the schedule that he could have stepped on the Olympia stage at 5 weeks out mark. He was that shredded. So we expect him to show up in the best condition of his life at his Open Olympia debut this year. And that is all what he wants to. So John isn't predicting where he is gonna place, because this is obviously gonna be the hardest bodybuilding lineup of his career. And those veteran Olympians in the men's open, they are not just big, they are aesthetic as well. And some of them are extremely shredded as well. And bodybuilding isn't just a measure of how conditioned you can get, or how low your body fat percentage is. Because the thing is, if that was the case, Andre Munzer, he would have won more titles in his professional bodybuilding career. So John's upper half has grown so much in this 1 year, after switching from the 212 to the men's open, and that is quality muscle mass. He now has more outer quad sweep as well, and that is definitely gonna be on the menu for the 2025 growth phase. So this has been a long season for John Jewett already. So I think he most probably is gonna shut down the season right after the Olympia. So John did 2 shows this year, Toronto Pro and Vancouver Pro. Toronto where he placed 3rd, and Van Pro which he won, and that too very convincingly. So do let me know what you guys think. How high can John place at his Olympia debut this year? The former Miss Olympia Brandon Curry, he is finishing it really strong towards the final stretch of this year's Miss Olympia prep, wrapping out those 150s like they're nothing. So again, I'm gonna say, Brandon as a champion, he did not get the respect that he deserved, even when he was the reigning Miss Olympia champion. Because so many people thought that Phil Heath was gonna beat him in 2020, which was Brandon's first ever title defense. But this can be the make or break year for Brandon. I mean, people were never predicting that Brandon is gonna drop down to 7th or 8th at the Olympia level ever before. And this has been the major change as we head into this year's Miss Olympia. So more than a decade of competing at the Olympia. What a superb career he has had so far. From placing dead last in 2016 to winning the whole damn thing just 3 years later in 2019. This has to be one of the most impressive things anyone ever did in professional bodybuilding, or any other sport for that matter. Now, if only Brandon would release just one progress update, I think that will break the internet in bodybuilding, because this also has been the very first time, and that too after so many years, when we did not see Brandon at the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing either. So we have absolutely no idea how he would look this time. So what if Brandon shows up like his Arnold 2019 version? I think that for sure is gonna break some hearts. So that's it from this video. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.